Coach, I guess now that you have a schedule, what does that mean for you? How exciting is it to finally kind of have a targeted schedule in place, and how does that structure you for the weekend at least?
Yeah, we're creatures of habits. It's good to know when we're going to play and where. So it helps us prepare for sure. At least we have some timelines and we have some deadlines, and we know when we're going to play. It's going to get busy. We're going to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, and then we're going to have some kind of a break, and then go at it. So it's going to be an interesting season. We'll see. Like first 4 games playing in 5 days to start the season, no exhibition games. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a challenge for both teams. So it's going to put our players in a position to expose themselves in a good way. When I mean what I mean by exposing is they're going to have a chance to play and show what they can do.
And speaking of players, you got 2 new faces in Ville Heinola and Dylan Sandberg assigned to you by the Winnipeg Jets today. I mean, last year you had Johnny Kovacevic, you had Leon Gavanke, you had Luke Green. You were doing a rotation with those 3. Now you've got, a whole host of, including, the 2 I just mentioned, those 3 plus Declan Chisholm. So you've got 6 really solid defensive prospects. How does that, as a coach whose focus is really on development, how do you work all of those young players into your lineup?
Well, first of all, it's really exciting to have all those young defensemen. We're going to be very young on defense, but good players. And I'm saying we're going to be very young, and at the same time, I don't really care how young we are. I think we're going to be able to move that puck and to make good plays and defend properly. So we're going to take it day by day. And because of this year, I think we can plan, and we've seen it so many times already. We can plan way in advance, and then a day before or an hour before, everything changes because of the taxi squad and the Jets and the guys being called up and injuries, that can happen. We're just going to plan a day at a time. But what I can tell you is we're excited to work with those young men.
We'll go next to Patrick Williams. Go ahead, Patrick.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this. First question is, what are the challenges of playing a team 4 games in a row like you'll be doing, and kind of the adjustments that both clubs will have to make throughout those 4 games?
Well, I don't know. The challenges are that I don't know if there is any, to be honest with you. I mean, you're playing the same team over and over, so it creates some rivalries between the 2 teams. So we like that. We want to see how we can compare and compete against the same team. It looks more like a playoff series to me, and that's interesting. So we can see which of our guys can make the adjustments, and we're going to be playing against pretty good teams like Toronto, Belleville, and Laval, Calgary. They have pretty good teams, and
then
Toronto is always a good team. So I think it's going to be. I don't know if there's any challenges about it. It's going to look like mini playoff series.
Then second question is just it's not a traditional schedule this year in terms of your typical weekend, Friday, Saturday type games. It's a little bit more unusual. What are the challenges in terms of planning practices, rest time, all the other considerations that you have?
Well, we work really well as a team. So every day after practice, I'll speak with the strength conditioning coach. I'll speak to the trainers. I'll speak to the medical staff. We'll when we're on the ice, that's really the only time we can speak to the players. The biggest adjustment right now is we can't have one-on-one meetings. We can't have meetings with the players. So we have to pre-record or do our video, have a voice over the video, and then we just play it in the room. So we're trying to be creative while respecting all the protocols, because safety is number one, and we're making sure that everybody's staying safe. So that's the biggest adjustment. I wouldn't say like the time of the games or practice. I don't see it being a big challenge. The big challenge right now is for us to adjust and use the technology to some kind of an advantage But it's really different. Like you're recording your video session, recording your meeting, or what would look like a meeting, but so you can just send it to the players. That's a big adjustment. And for us coaches, it's extra work. And we're not afraid of work, obviously, but it's just a different way to do things. And right now we're adjusting to that new way. And it's takes a little bit of more time in our preparation. But it's so far it's going well.
We'll go next to Tony Zurica if you had one. Go ahead, Tony.
Hi, thank you. Coach, can you comment on Brett Davis's performance in camp so far and what role you might see him having with the team this year?
I don't know the role yet. I don't know what role we're gonna give him. I like that he's improving every day. I like that he's working hard. He's asking questions. He's willing to learn. You can tell he's a coachable person. Good size. He can skate. But I don't know how all of this is going to be translated into a hockey game at the American League level. So it's we're going to keep working with him. But right now, giving roles to players, it's too early. There's too many guys we don't really know. But we like what we're seeing so far. We see the improvement and good work ethic. So we want to keep it that way.